Imagine a town where every prayer echoes through centuries, a place where pilgrims arrive in lakhs seeking peace from Lord Manjunatha. But under the holy soil of Dharmasthala, a chilling secret has begun to rot its way to the surface. What if I told you hundreds of women raped, killed, and silenced were buried quietly, and the world, perhaps knowingly, looked away? Located in Karnataka's Dakshina Kannada district, Dharmasthala is revered as a spiritual sanctuary. It's home to a famous Jain administered Hindu temple known for its order, discipline, and religious harmony. But today, this temple town is almost with a dark shadow. It stands accused of hosting one of its India's most horrifying human rights cover ups, a shadow buried beneath sanity. In early July of 2025, that shadow was cracked open. Let's see how the whistleblower of this emerges. A former sanitation worker, a Dalit man who worked under the temple's administration from 1995 to 2014, walked into a Karnataka court. Covered head to toe, his face obscured by fear, not theoretics. He testified under Section 164 of the CPC, saying he was forced to bury and burn over 100 female bodies, many allegedly raped, mutilated, and murdered over 2 decades. He even presented photographs of skeletons, locations of burial pits, and even fragments of human bones. These were not just allegations, these were incidents written in bone and blood. And yet, he named no one, not in open court, because he feared that doing so might get him killed too. So he handed a sealed envelope to a Supreme Court lawyer. If he is harmed, the names will come out. And this is all about some mass rapes, skeletons, and ultimate silence. We even have one of his statements that looked like a horror film transcript. I'll read that for you. It was like this: some bodies were wrapped in newspaper, some were naked, some were schoolgirls, uniforms intact, underwear missing. Some had acid burnt faces, and many were strangled. He says that he was repeatedly threatened. He even says that he was said, "You'll be cut into pieces and buried like them." And do you know where was the burial spots? Behind petrol bunks, near river banks, in forested corners of Dharmasthala, places selected to ensure quiet decomposition and no trace at all. Despite his shocking revelations and submission of physical evidence, police delayed visiting these sites for nearly a week after the FIR was registered. But why? Let's also see a quick flashback to Sowjanya. This horror didn't even start in 2025. In 2012, Sowjanya, a 17-year-old schoolgirl, was raped and murdered in Dharmasthala. Her case sparked nationwide outrage, especially after the lone accused was acquitted in 2023. Now, the whistleblower claims Sowjanya was one of many. That revelation shattered the illusion. It wasn't just one case, it was a pattern, a system, a cycle of disappearance, rape, and ritual silence. Next one was Sujata, a mother's cry, the case of Ananya. Sujata, a former CBI stenographer, her daughter Ananya, a MBBS student, went missing in 2003 during a college trip to Dharmasthala. Sujata pleaded with police, approached the temple board, and was illegally mocked and dismissed. Now, 22 years later, she believes her daughter might be among the bones being under earth. She is demanded DNA testing and has challenged temple heads to take polygraph tests alongside her. She asks only one thing: let the bones speak. You're probably asking, why haven't names come out? The whistleblower says he buried victims of powerful men, names he refuses to say publicly. People deeply embedded in the temple administration with political connections, spiritual cult, and access to resources to erase lives. He is protected on paper under India's Witnesses Protection Scheme, but the police claim that they don't know where he is. His lawyers say he is in touch, he is ready, you are stealing. The most haunting part of this case isn't the bones, it's the school bags left behind, the wedding bangles buried, the missing posters ignored, the police inaction. Women who came to pray, girls who came to study, locals who trusted the system, tourists who vanished, all buried in nameless graves, behind petrol bunks and in temple-owned land, bodies dumped with rights without closure. The sanitation worker doesn't want fame, he just wants absolution. Give them a proper farewell at least. Let them be seen. Let my guilt be buried with them. This is what he says. As Dharmasthala reels under these claims, the silence is deafening. The police haven't exhumed the sites even. The AI-generated video leaks tried to discredit the whistleblower, prompting new legal battles. Activists and lawyers demand a court-monitored SIT. The Karnataka State Women's Commission has raised the alarm. The SDPI and civil rights groups have launched statewide protest. Yet, temple officials and some political leaders call the claims baseless slander. And we know obviously who calls that. The main accused remain unnamed. But pressure builds. Sowjanya's family still mourns, Ananya's mother still fights, the whistleblower still hides. And under Dharmastala's sacred soil, skeletons wait for a name, for a face, for a justice. Because this isn't just about a temple town. This is about India's willingness to protect truth over reputation. When faith becomes fear and prayer becomes propaganda, silence is no longer sacred. This is Karnataka's test of consistency. And it's India's moment to ask, will justice rise even beneath the graves? Let's wait for it.